Yo, welcome to I don't know if it's going to be a fun or depressing, or you guys are pretty much my vent today, Tuesday with Todd, dealing with setbacks. So here's the thing. When you get in here, hey, check in. Let me know that you're here. Not maybe, not every episode is fun time, play time, and things aren't always roses and that's the real part of the business. That's what, a lot of us go through and a lot of us experience, and it seems to be like people don't talk about that side of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about what we had going on. To be honest with you, I wasn't even going to do Tuesday with Todd. We're going to do it on goal setting. I had it planned out, and then yesterday afternoon things started to go. I guess it was early afternoon. Things started to go a little wonky, and then it just kept going from there. And then we thought things were going good. And then things took a turn for the worse, and they just kept worse as the day went along today. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some other things we have going on and why we do things the way that we do, and do all that. So make sure check in. Let me know if you're ready for this not so fun-filled episode of Tuesday with Todd. I guarantee you, you're going to take something away from this. And if not, then just don't sign in, right? We'll do it there. So a few of you are checking in here. I was even going to grab some booze. That's what I was going to do. Because that's how enlightening today has been, because it's been a total kick in the nuts. So I can only imagine it's going to get worse from here. Rye, what's up, my man? It's totally missed you this morning. I was in something else, and I was like, before I knew it, you were gone. My other thing just went long. That's all it was. So, Darren, hello to you. What's up, Chuck? Good evening to you as well. Rachel, good afternoon to you as well. T-Tom, stuck in traffic. Oh, a dead stop. That sounds like fun. What's the cause of that? Looky-loos, accident, just traffic. Nobody's zipper merging. Zipper merging. That's what people need to do. Bust out the iPad and turn you on. Love that. Renee's greetings from 76 in sunny Chicagoland. Water in the cup. It is. It's like, I think it said it was like 79 here. It is. It says mostly cloudy, but man, it sure looks sunny outside. And sunny enough, I just might just have to go outside and enjoy it a little, because it is Tuesday. So maybe we'll do some tacos on the patio or something after this. Maybe we'll go see some chickens. We'll go do something. I need to get out of here and get my head cleared up. And I think that's what a big part of this is being a business owner is not always exciting, is not always glamorous, it's not always fun and games, and it's not always perfection, right? I mean, we've got that squared away. We know that, right? That there are downfalls to it, but for whatever reason, every time you turn on YouTube, it's how to make $3,000 in a day, how to scale your business to $100,000 per month, how to do all this, and they never give you all the information. They never give you the behind the scenes of how bad things can go. And we're gonna talk about how things happen and what we got from there. And right, you need a mini split, my man. 92 in the garage. Pray for your machines. Get a mini split. Look at the DIY Mr. Cool systems for your garage. I bet it's gonna be about $1,500, $2,000. Get that in there, and then you'll have heat and AC, homie. And that'll be a lifesaver for you. Plus, it adds value to the house because now it's a conditioned space. So maybe you should go ahead and get that. So here's the deal. We had a great weekend for DTF. We were gung ho about it. We weren't sure if we were going to get everything printed yesterday because of just the amount of orders that came in. We're sitting at about 3 to 5 production days on things. And we're getting our VIP stuff out faster. Our rush orders, we're getting those out faster. But yesterday, I wasn't even sure if we were going to, the amount of orders that came in over the weekend and the amount, we're talking, people were ordering, 150 square feet, 200 square feet. I think one was 300. So there's just takes a lot of time. And so I wasn't sure, what we're going to get through and what we got going on, but we did what we could do. I started noticing some issues, printing about 11:30 yesterday, and I'm like, okay, well, is there temperature changes, whatever going on with it? Let's do a cleaning, and that didn't really help. So then I'm like, well, what the hell is going on? Let's do a flush on it, and that didn't really help. So then I cleaned out the manifold, and I changed dampers, and I changed cap tops, and I flushed the main line. I did all this, and nothing seemed to be working, and all signs were pointing to, the head was going out. Now, mind you, we just got this head 2 weeks ago, right? and so it shouldn't be having issues already. So went ahead and called up our supplier and be like, hey, this is what I'm running into. They're like, man, something doesn't seem right with that. I'm like, yeah, what do you want to do? They said, well, we can get you out another one. I'm like, well, listen, I've got stuff going on, and I knew that they shipped out yesterday. We'd get it sometime today. Now they're only an hour and a half away, so what do? I say, let's go. So I drove down there, got a new head, came back, installed the head, and we chit-chatted about some other stuff. We got a meeting tomorrow to go over some things, and we said, all right, cool. Find out some new things that they have coming in, some new ideas, some new processes, and really excited about what the future holds. Still that way. Still, we won't get that wrong. Still excited about what the future holds to work with them, but went ahead and put that head in, and nothing. Like before, I was getting my CMYK to print, and I was getting my, I was getting white, just it wasn't good white. So nothing happened, nothing printed, nothing did anything. Mind you, before I triple checked cables. I made sure everything was there. In fact, I put in new ribbon cables, made sure everything was there, and got nothing. And by the time I got back, it was 5:30, so it was after office hours. You're not gonna reach someone there, but I did. I was able to talk to them, and tried a few different things and looked at it and said, well, let's get a tech involved tomorrow. I'm like, you guys able to print for me tomorrow? I said, I got some footage that needs to go out. And they're like, send it all through, and we'll do our best to get you taken care of. Because mind you, that's their business, is they're printing their DTF supplier equipment. And when I was down there, they have 4 or 5 machines up and going, and different tier, the ones that they offer in that. And so it was, we said we could do what we did. So I took care of all the rush orders, VIPs, and then everything else would fall in line. And they said, we'll get you taken care of today. So what does that mean? That means all the revenue that came in over the weekend was a big fat goose egg. Yeah, not a dime of revenue, because now we're having somebody print for us. As we were going through today, we tested out various components in there, put meters on stuff, tried moving stuff around, and it's looking like we have a bad board. And this time a bad board may have taken 2 heads along with it. So do the math. $1,400 a head, $500 there, it's $3,200. Yeah. And guess what? There's no board, so we're waiting on China. So it looks like another, negative $10,000 month. Last month we had that with everything going out, and then orders coming in. And when we get orders in, we're not making anything off them. We're doing this to take care of our customers, so we still have customers. So it's a complete pass through. So everything that comes in, it goes right out, and that's just the way it is. By the time you figure in, credit card processing fees, shipping fees, things like that, there's just really next to no money in it for us, but we're doing it to keep our customers happy. And what does that mean? That means no revenue coming in. So no revenue coming in, but revenue going out, or expenses going out. We still have bills that need to be paid. We still have other stuff. This is where having that, having those other forms of revenue streams coming in. So we've got a couple stores open. We got field day shirts coming up. We've got signs and banners for Little League. We've got, what else was in the mix there? Recital shirts. There's something else that I'm missing that was there. Yard signs. And there's something else that was pretty decent in there. Anyway, we had other stuff coming in. So we do have revenue coming in on that side. So while it's great, it sucks that a big chunk of that is gone. So while this is gone, make sure you're going to see me pushing signs and banners and decals and all of that stuff again, because that's what we can do right now in house, and I can make money off of it because we need that revenue. Like I said, last month was a negative $10,000. When you figure what we spent out on equipment or on parts to get fixed, revenue that came in that was lost because it was just passed through and there was no money to be made on it. It was about that. And now this month, let's be honest, we're looking at probably the same thing. So it sucks. So how do you manage those setbacks? Well, one, the great thing about knowing your pricing is, one, it allowed us to do that. Knowing where our pricing is with stuff, we're able to not lose money on orders. Because what do? Just tell everybody, sorry, we're not printing for you. And what are they going to do? They're going to go find somebody else. So yeah, good luck trying to get those customers back. So you do what you do. You break even to take care of those. It sucks, but that's just part of it. We try and offer the other things where, the signs, the banners, the decals, the printed HTV. That reminds me, I got to invoice out somebody for printed glitter HTV, printed glitter HTV. So that our holographic stickers are running crazy. I mean, we're burning through that, really well. So look for a special on that. Now that we've got stuff coming in and there and got everything down with it, we're going to see a special for that. I'll probably start posting that tomorrow for it. But you can see that there's just a lot of issues. Now, the great thing is we have a wonderful supplier. American Print and Supply is really doing well with this. Like I said, we got a meeting with them tomorrow morning. And it's like, so when it comes down to when you purchase equipment, yeah, I could have saved thousands, probably, a good $10,000 buying straight from China, in 2021 or 22, whenever we bought this. Yeah, 21, is that right? Somewhere around there. It's 22. I don't know. Anyway, when um, we could have saved it, but where was that support? I'd be on China time, which meant I would have stayed up last night to deal with everything there. And last night he's like, "Hey man, just take a break, walk away from it. You're doing everything right, but you're going to get frustrated with it and maybe do something that isn't there. So just walk away from it." And I did. And that was great. That's what I need to do. But they still had that pit in the gut feeling, and they're like, everything's going to work out. We got you. Don't worry about this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, how things play out. But hey, it's a hit. And being a business owner is that you've got to overcome those obstacles. That's why you can't rely on one stream of income. If things happen, are you able to supplement that, right? So for us, like I said, we have our other things that we do. We have our signs, our banners, our decals. We do printed shirts for orders. We do, bulk orders. We do all of that. Screen printed transfers, DTF transfers right now, stickers, all of that. So we are able to keep that going, and that's a good thing to have. So look at your business and see what happens if something goes down, right? One, can you afford to fix on it? I know far too many people that can't afford to fix on it when something happens. And like with this is going to suck. This is going to hurt. Last month hurt. This is going to hurt even worse. It's because, hey, we thought, all right, we'll be able to make it back this month. Well, maybe not. So it might take a couple months. So it'll be there. But don't worry. Keep ordering. Keep doing your stuff. It's one of these where, you still order. Still do that. VIPs, pretty much everything here. The way that it's working is they're taking care of shipping wise. We're getting everything. Anything that I ship to them, most anything. It all depends on order sizes and that. They're doing pretty quick turnaround to me, so I can get stuff out to our VIPs, in 2-3 days. So we're still under the 3 to 5 production standard. 3 to 5 production, we're still meeting that, no problem. Rush orders are a little bit different. Because they can take care of rush orders for me, but their shipping is considerably more than mine. So if you need something like same day, if you need something within 3 days, you're going to be paying more for the shipping on it, just because their shipping is more than mine. We'll make the best that we can with it, but 'tis what it is, my mans. That's what we do. But what are you gonna do? Like I said, look at your business. What do you have? If something stops, if Rye's still here, I mean, look at Rye. He's got DTF, he's got DTG, he's got embroidery, he's got screen printing, and he can do stickers. So if something goes down, he's able to do some of that other stuff, right? He's able to push some of that other things. So that's where having that other revenue stream. The other thing is, if you have one machine, is it worth looking at getting a second one in case one goes down? If you have one embroidery machine, do you have the space and resources to get a second one in case it goes down? Or a multi-head. Are you able to do that? What happens in that spot? The other thing is, look at some of the other pieces of equipment. Or your laser, can you get a second laser? DTF, can you get a second DTF? And that was what we were going through the numbers last month of like, okay, where is that break point where it's time to buy another machine? And we're like, we're getting close to it, but not consistent close. That thing needs to be running, 6 to 8 hours a day. So about 7 hours a day, nonstop. And that's what it needs to be doing, that consistently for about 6 weeks before we can say, yes, it's time to purchase another machine. because we were able to, offset it with transfers. We're able to offset it by having somebody else print for us. We're able to do some of that. So it's one of those where, it's the plus is negative, to drop another, 25K on the system. I mean, there's more stuff that comes with it, more electrical, more venting, more other things, more space. So it's something that, you can do. So, we're always looking at that, but it's scary, man. It's scary being a business owner. There's things that unexpected expenses, unexpected things that come up that you just don't notice or realize until it happens. And if you're somebody who is very value friendly, let's say, on your pricing, and you're always cutting a deal or trying to be the cheapest out there, stop. What happens when something goes down and you don't have the funds to fix it? So, really, really take a hard look at your numbers tonight and see where things are. Are you able to get that, and make that happen? So, yeah, let's check in and see what happens. I have the Titan Jet is what we have, and we're not sure what really happened with it, because right now things that we thought would be bad fuses, everything is testing good on the board, so we're just not sure, and that's the thing. And yeah, Chuck, didn't I just replace the board? Yeah, last month just replaced the board and the print head, and this month it looks like it might be a board and 2 print heads. So let's see. Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy, 100%. And nope, that is one of the things. None of it's warranted. We'll talk tomorrow to see. But with print heads, when you buy a print head, there's no warranty on a print head. It just is what it is. Because the reason being is because you can cause issues to the print head. Head strikes, not maintenance on it, so not cleaning it properly, things like that. You can cause a print head to go bad. So that's why most print heads aren't warranted. Now a board, maybe. We'll see. Like I said, we're gonna talk tomorrow and see what we can find out. But I'm always looking at worst case scenario. What is this going to cost me? What is this going to cost me to get us going from there? Yeah, it is. It is wild. That's to say the truth. But the good thing is, between all of this, we are gonna, like I said, be caught up. Today was kind of a struggle day because if we would have known earlier yesterday, everything that came in from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, we could have got out and they could have got an early jump on stuff. It wasn't able to happen, so we missed a day of production. So they're getting stuff out together for me. I just got a notice here that stuff is shipping out to us. So we're getting those rush orders that people had. They're taking that shipping for me, and then the other stuff's coming here so we can break down and get it to where it needs to go. But we're still on point for everything, so that's a plus. Harry, good afternoon to you. Right, write down when tints slow, t-shirts are good, and vice versa. That's the thing, and like that's a prime example. 2 separate streams of income coming in. Why? Something's, one seems up, one seems down. One seems up, one seems down. You got to have that at there. Look at me, help. Hey, right. I'll come out there and help you. I mean, I'm not going to be doing anything now for, a little bit. I can work remotely. In fact, today when I was talking to somebody, yesterday, what was it? Yeah, maybe it was yesterday. Yeah, it was earlier today. We were talking about different things going on and how their business has changed and what they're doing. Now they're able to get things done faster. So they, something that would normally take them a couple days, they're now getting done in the afternoon. And I was like, hey, now you have so much time for activities. And they said, I could just come work for you, but the commute would suck. And they're like, nope, you're just going to come down and you're going to work. You're going to work Monday through Friday and stay here, and then just go home the weekends. So, I've done that before, where I went out of town to work places for a couple days and come back, but that is no fun. So we'll see. Time for backup. That's what we're looking at. And my backup plan is having our vendor print for us. It isn't see what things happen and how to go about it, because it's like, what do you do, right? Like this, we have a plan in place. We go down so we can keep producing orders and keep getting ours taken care of. Hopefully we're not down for long with it. But didn't they give you a used board? No. That was the thing, is they originally, when we looked at it, they were going to pull a board from a machine, but that board was not the correct one for our machine. That's why we were down for as long as we were, because we had to order a board from China to get in here. So that looks like what we got to do again, and we'll find out. Like I said, I'll get more information tomorrow after morning mindset, and then we'll be able to talk probably Friday about what's going on there. I know this isn't as big as a problem, but my bigger heat press went out a few weeks ago, and luckily I had a backup to get some orders out until it's fixed. Yeah, that's the thing, is having stuff, having having backups for it. Like for heat presses, we've ran into that before where we had a heat press go down, and they for us, we were lucky at that time there wasn't anything I can do. It was on our old Hicks, which we still have. And there was I don't even remember what it was, but I ended up finding that Radio Shack. That tells you anything. Radio Shack was still around, and they were able to get me the part that I needed to make it work. But we couldn't. It kept wanting to cut off and reset, and so what I had to do was I had to 100% bypass safeties to get that working, to get a shirt order out. And that's when I was like, never again. Let's get something else. So now we've got our autoclave. We've still got the Hicks, and then we've got the Starcraft, and we've got a couple 12x12. So we should always be good if something were to really really bad happen, because on heat press wise. But on this side, yeah, boards are in stock. Are they in stock? Who is this? Who am I talking to? Are they in stock? Because that was the thing, is that more boards in stock. Maybe that's what you're saying. So I called when I talked to them, I was like, "You got any more boards?" And they said, "No, we just sold the last one and have some on order." So that's the thing. Now I'm like, okay, I shouldn't. That's the thing, is we shouldn't be having issues like this. So don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out and go through with it, and go with that. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Uh, oh, and let's see. Who just sent me a message? All orders. I didn't see who popped up, but I seen it. Somebody sent me a message about orders, and right now everything is scheduled to. Jay, boards are in stock. Oh, because Jay, you're on Facebook. That's why. Facebook and StreamYard don't always play nice together. And so what you need to do is, if you head to fatdadlive.com, it'll get you over into the YouTube side of things. So that's awesome, Jay. See, like that. You know how much that cheered me up? Boards are in stock. Hey, look at that. So you guys can see Jay. I can't see. Jay is our tech. And so, we're going through stuff, and I can only do so much, because here, what am I testing? Here to here, go here. Everything is fine on it. This is an example of a banner. Click on the banner, it shows it on the screen. What the hell is that? Let's get rid of that. But the thing is, when you don't know, you don't know, right? Jay, are you sure? Are you sure boards in stock? Because I talked to Rob last night. Boards weren't in stock unless you have some boards in your hidden stockpile. But that's the thing, is we don't know, right? We tried some new stuff, and maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. If that was the cause of it, now we know. The great thing about glad I got some tea earlier. Ooh, oh yeah, some tea. I was like, what happened in Shirt Labs? Tell me all about it. Tell me all about it there. But that's the thing. This is why I say buying from a reputable company is so important, because if you buy direct from China, yes, you're going to save, but you're not going to have the support. You're just really not going to, and when you're buying from an importer, because that's what a lot of them are, find out what their support, system is. What happens when this goes bad? I'm seeing a lot of people that are importing like the smaller machines, and it's something that I'm going to talk tomorrow about, to see what the chances of that, because to me, the equipment sales, and if anybody is in sales in general, on the equipment side, you make crap. You don't make anything off the machine. You're like, oh, that's garbage, because they're sending me, I can buy that same one delivered for $8,000, and they're selling it for $15,000. So, they're making, $7,000 off of it. Okay, well, let's run through the numbers. All right. So of that 7,000, right? When you buy that from China, is it coming with a laptop with all the software in English, everything set up, ready to go? Probably not. So you're up in the middle of the night trying to work with China to get that taken care of. So there's strike one. Okay. Strike two. Do you have somebody to help set it up for you? Right? Is there an on-site delivery team, installation team that is walking you through that, that's giving you training. Aha, that brings us to the other one. Is there training? Is there training that comes along with it, other than just, hey, watch some videos and figure this out? There's all that part of it. You got to think, by the time they factor in what it costs them to bring it in, what it costs them to ship it to you, what it costs them to do on-site delivery, what it costs for the support afterwards, they don't make any money off that. Where they make money off the sales of supplies. That's just the rule it's been forever. If you don't believe me, why is an Epson printer $45? And when you want to buy ink for it again, it's $50. They don't make anything off the printer. They're giving you the printer. They just want you to buy supplies. And so that's the thing. You really have to look at that. That's the same way that when you buy a piece of, like a heat press, buy a heat press from Heat Press Nation or the Rhinestone World or anywhere else that's selling it, they're not making much off of that. They're doing it as a what's the word that a courtesy. They're really not making anything off of it unless it's their own line that they're putting in. Even then, it's not much, because they're just doing it as a courtesy for you. Same with any type of equipment. The equipment is not where you make money at. You make it on the supplies. That's just the way it is. And it's not a printer. It's an ink delivery system. Yeah, and all this freight, import duty, support, 100%. This is the biggest one. Support. That extra $5,000 alone is worth it just for support. Now, I won't say what Jay's hours are, because maybe they're not the same for everybody, but during standard business hours, you can expect to hear back from them. Send them a message. Might be in something, hey, I'm doing an install, set up, schedule a time, give me some details on it. And that's how the support staff works there over American Print and Supply, is what can we do? How can we work this out? Let's set something up and go from there. Here's all the stuff that you need. Which, Jay, I was getting messages from like a different number today. That totally threw me off. So we figured out that, because I'm like, huh? What's this? That's what really threw me off the first time. Yeah, it's the way in most equipment sales. That's right. Is they don't make anything off the equipment. It's all off the supplies. So, say me, could I go find ink cheaper? Yep. Can I go find film cheaper? Yep. Can I go find powder cheaper? Yep. Can I go find everything cheaper? Absolutely. But can I go find support cheaper? No. The price that I paid extra for that made up for it in its weight in gold. And that's the thing, is when you're looking at making those purchases, really look at the company, look at, say, hey, can I talk to your service team? Hey, oh, you don't have a service team? Okay. So what is your service? Oh, I got to buy it from you and it's just relabeled, and I got to get a hold of Sun Fun or whatever it is in China and set it up from there. So there's no real support on your side. Gotcha. Really check and see, hey, how long have you been doing this? What kind of years do you have in this? And, a lot of people that are doing this now, they've only been in it since 2020, that's what it is. But they've had printer experience for years. They've had other experience behind that. So it was just sliding directions to the side, okay, it's just a side step. So everything's there, hey, can you tear down a printer and rebuild it? Absolutely. What common issues have you seen? Ask. When you're spending that kind of money, ask. And like I said, the biggest thing to ask is, what happens when we go down? How are we able to rectify that situation? And those are the big things to ask. And that goes with anything. If you're buying an embroidery machine and you're buying it from there, hey, what happens? I don't know, because I haven't looked at that. You buy a laser, what happens when it goes down? What am I looking at for sales, or what am I looking at for support? What am I looking at for parts? What is my average downtime for something? What are the average failure rates of things? One of the big things that we're seeing with failure, and this goes across the board, is lack of maintenance. Lack of maintenance is what can really get you in trouble, folks. And, you can put it off, but then things just happen, and then you're kind of screwed, right? So, like changing dampers, changing cap tap stations. It's just one of the things that we're going to talk about is, trying to create that maintenance program. Hey, you're going to join our maintenance program. This is how much it costs you per month. We're going to send this out in X amount of intervals. Just change it. Doesn't matter if you think it needs it or not. Just change it. Healthy printer. Here's a filter for it. Here's this. Here's things to do. It's going to keep that there, because you want to be up and going on it all the time. Open phone. Oh, well, that helps out. Next time, just because it's been, I think I've had a couple different ones on it. It was service or not service. It was invoicing one time, and another time it was, I think it was Jeff on something. And they, there's just let me know at the beginning so I know who I'm talking to. It could have been, well, I know it could have been Keith, but I figured it out there. Um, Darren goes, that's why I originally went with the laser company I did. Had a day of on-site training. We literally went from crate to running. I was afraid of messing up 24/7 tech support. And right there, that's huge. Lasers are another thing that you can buy lasers. You can get into your epilogues and your Trotex and what other one am I missing big there? On your higher end, your higher price point ones, you can get ones that are in half that price, but where's the support with it? That's the big thing. Where is that support? That's what you need. When you get a new piece of equipment, a new investment like this, what are you doing, right? Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're like, I don't know. I'm just going to try this and see. So what happens when I screw something up? Because you will. That's part of learning. That's part of earning. You're going to screw something up. So what do you do about that? You make the most of it, and you move on from there. I got something else that's crazy over here popping up. So I'm gonna take a look at that to figure out why that is doing that. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna look at it on the other screen. But that's something to think about. Like, you are gonna screw up. Things are gonna go bad. Things are gonna go from bad to worse sometimes, and you're just gonna be like, what? What the hell did I just do? Did I ruin this? Is this screwballed? Is this what is going on? Because I just don't know. And when you're buying from a third party vendor that is not offering anything, maybe it's time to think about that beforehand. Because I've seen so much over the 15 years that I've been doing this, where people think go spending more, they're getting ripped off, and you're really not. When you're spending more, you're getting that service. And even if you never use it, let's just say you never use that service, right? Everything's going fine and dandy. Well, it's there if you ever do need it. It's there if you ever do need it. My plasma tech support was Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and they usually had to call back even during those hours. Yeah, and there's a lot of it, right? If they have a small support staff or things going on, yep, send in a trouble ticket and we'll get back to you, 24 hours. What do you do? Like, you sit there and wait, and you're just like, oh, yeah, I get the whole team at the fingertips, so I can just send that message out anywhere, right? I should just Venmo it a couple bucks for some beers and say, all right, guys, let's get together and drink. Yeah. I've got the backlash because I bought the dual heat press here instead of saving and buying overseas. I mean, I can, but I'd rather have the support here. Well, and here's the other thing too, right? Is you get the dual one from Printomize. When you see what Printomize is selling it for, when you buy one from China that you're going to wait, 90, 120 days on, when you factor in the shipping, it's really not that much difference. It might save you a couple $100, but if you're getting it faster and you're getting support that goes along with it, I mean, that's the thing. Like, COVID brought out a lot of people saying, I can just buy stuff from China. There's a lot of bad product out there, folks, especially in the sublimation side of it. There's a lot of bad product. I would say if they don't have this is going to, maybe it'd be a little tough, because I know people that are doing it out of their house, their garage, their buildings on their property. They just don't have a store retail front. They have everything online, but they've been doing it pre-COVID, right? And there's other ones that are doing it since then. But they've also tested their product over and over again. They sent stuff out, had people do it. But there's been a lot of new pop-ups of, hey, this is where you can buy stuff from, or hey, here's the vendors to use from China. Just here, pay me $200 and I'll give you the vendor list, and you can go there and buy it yourself. Thing is, to really save money, you got to buy by the caseload. Is it really worth it to do? I don't think so. I think it's worth having that inventory on hand. Unless you're just turning and burning and going through it, that's a lot to have on hand. Now, can you go with somebody on a group buy? Sure, maybe. But even with that, you're waiting, 120 days. As I said, people that are ordering stuff for Christmas from China, you're ordering now, in the next 2 months at the latest, because you want to make sure you have all that stuff in here. So, China isn't always the best place just to run to and buy. When you look at it, how do you feel when your customers say, I can get it cheaper down the street? You tell them to go, right? Because they're not your customer if they're buying off price. So It's the same thing. You want the highest quality product to sell for, but at the same time, you want to buy cheap. Think about that. That comes along with it. That's why, I, as far as I'm concerned, just on the service side alone, from what we received from American Print Supply, why would I ever look at going anywhere else for anything DTF related? Whether it's DTF, whether it's a UV printer, which maybe that's going to happen soon. But those will be offered. If Jay's still in the comments, Jay's going to get pricing figured out, so that way we can start offering up those. But I sort of talked a little bit about yesterday about, hey, here's what I want to do. I want to be able to offer it to make sure that something there for people, and then build the business. And then when the volume is there, then it makes sense to purchase equipment. That's what you should do too. You build the volume for it, build the business for it, and then when it makes sense, do it. That's what I tell people all the time. But really get a handle on your vendors. Know what you're going to buy. Even on the used equipment side, I'm a big proponent of used equipment. It's just buying used equipment from the right people. I've dealt with Mike down at Reprint for 5-6 years, and he's always done me good, always taken care of me when it's come to equipment. And that was my thing. What happens when this? What happens if he goes, I'll take care of you. I remember we had our printer, and it wasn't that long. It was maybe a month, and we were having issues with it. And I sent him pictures on Friday. I said, man, here's what's going on. And he said, we thought that the fuse had blown, but we have to, it was a solder on fuse on the back. I didn't feel comfortable doing it, so we had somebody else. We had a guy that dealt with, equipment repair, electric repair, TVs, things like that. He came on site, repaired it. As soon as we put it in, it popped. So we knew that wasn't it. He's like, hey, sorry. I'm like, hey, you did your job. Everything's good to go there. So that was like on a Friday. Mike came on Mother's Day. He came on Mother's Day morning met me at the shop at 9 a.m. Had us back up and running within an hour, and maybe an hour and a half, and we bullshitted for a little bit longer. But that's the type of service you need. That's why when somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a used wide format printer, EcoSolvent, I'm like, hey, get with my boy Mike down there at Reprint. He will take care of you. He'll get you what you need. And we bought a couple printers from him. We bought we bought our 30-inch, our 54-inch, we bought our Spangle, our Pro Spangle. We bought some fair amount of equipment from him, and we've had great luck with all of it. And then there was the one issue the one time, and he came up and fixed it. So I will always a big proponent for that. Darren said, my plasma is US-based big name company, and every time it went down, I had to wait. It just frustrated me more to the point I didn't even want it and need to sell it. And that sucks, right? Like the service side is what sucks, is that when you're stuck because of service, machine being down, machines are going to go down 100%. You're going to have an issue with the machine. If it has moving parts, there's an issue. It can go. If it has consumable parts, lasers have tubes, print heads in all of your printers, anything. And I'm not even sure on embroidery machines, but I know there's something that can go bad on those. But there's plenty of stuff that can go down, right? What happens when it goes down? Okay, here's what we can do for you. Here's how we can take care of you, and you're going to be fine with it. So don't freight on that. Don't not buy anything because you're scared of that. Find out that service side. Ask to talk to other people, right? Like me, I feel like overall we have a good hold on our community. We're just about 5,000 strong in the group. We got a couple thousand on Facebook or a couple thousand on YouTube, 1,000 on close to 1,000 on that other stuff. But we're so all in 8,000, 9,000 people that are tuned into us. So I feel we got a pretty good pulse on things when people are having issues with things, wanting to talk about things, asking questions. I try and convey as much messages, as much information as I can. That's why for me, I hang out with people that are way out of my league, that do 10 times the amount of business, 20 times the amount of business, 50 times the amount of business that I do. Why? I maybe bring something new to them that they haven't looked at because, hey, we're always trying new things on the marketing. We're trying stuff with the DTF. We're trying this stuff. And some of them have been in the business 20, 30 years. So, I want to ask, what can I do for you? What can I do? I don't want to, go to them and be that person to always ask questions, right? But if they're offering to answer questions, I'm going to take that every chance I get because they got there for a reason. And if they're offering that up 100%, And there's people that want to get where we are, 6-figure business. They want to be self-sufficient. They want to be able to support their family. Hey, here's how we got there. So, as I'm continuously trying to grow, I'm trying to help the people behind me. And, here's the stumbling blocks we had. Here's the things we had. Now, I've been accused of gatekeeping on some stuff because I haven't given up all my sources. I haven't given up all my resources. Why would I? I use those on a continuous basis to be able to help people, to serve people, to provide for our customers. But if I can say, yep, I bet I couldn't, if I told you it was 20, 25 people that I've helped purchase new equipment, and it was something that we did for them, whether it was DTF printing, whether it was Spangles at the time, whether it is eco-solvent printing, sublimation printing, to help them purchase new equipment and lose a customer over it. Yeah, 2025 easily. But I knew that was the point. I'm like, here's what you're going to do. You're getting to that point where it probably makes sense for you to start looking at getting yourself. And so we'd lose customers. But what happens when they have an issue? They come back to us. What happens if they need something that they don't do? They come back to us. So it's building that relationship, which once again, us selling equipment, we don't make anything off that. We're just there to help out, to get people through it. Plus, I'd rather support something here in the States if possible. China, there's a lot of time zones and language barriers for tech support. Absolutely. 1,000%. The time zone, the language barrier, that right there, $5,000 frustrations for it. I've learned a lot out of frustration, expensive lessons. Me as well. And that's why, I see you look at who you're purchasing from. You have those backups. You got to, overcome those obstacles, man. It sucks. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, this is great. We don't have any issues here. We don't, everything is fine and dandy and yada, yada, yada. And sunshine, rainbows. No, I'm always going to be real with you guys. When we have an issue, I'm going to tell you. When we have some other stuff going on, hey, I'm going to tell you, the setbacks are real. It's a real part of business. And anybody that is telling you that it isn't a real business. If they have never experienced a setback, I need that magic pill, man. I need to know what's going on. Because dealing with those setbacks, it's a huge, huge thing. And I just realized that I didn't share this to anywhere. I go on before I go live and I share it in the multiple groups and that stuff. And I did not do that this time. So for those that showed up, thanks for showing up. Thanks for having those notifications turned on. So when we go live, you're notified, because I didn't put it in any of the other groups. It was legitimately something the last, 45 or last hour that I'm like, okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it, because, I needed to get some stuff off my chest. I need to figure it out. And that's what you guys are here for. You're here to know the ins and the outs and the goods and the bads, and to know that, I'm going to, if I have an experience with a company, I want to tell you the good, the bad, the experience with it. There's some company, I won't publicly bash a company, but if you ask me privately, about a company to stay away from, I will 100% give you my honest to God opinion on it. When the company is doing good, I will climb that mountain and scream their goodness from the top of my lungs. And why? Because I know they take care of people. And that's the thing. When you look at companies like Crystal Ninja, amazing support. The Rhinestone World, amazing support. Magic Touch, amazing support. American Print and Supply, amazing support. Who else have we? Stalls. We've always had amazing support with Stalls. JP Plus, we've had amazing support with them when we've had issues, which there hasn't been a whole lot. But those are ones that we will talk about. We don't get a dime, right? I'd love to set up some affiliate programs with them, but it's who we work with. It's ones we feel comfortable with. It's ones that the reason we feel comfortable with it is because of the support that we've received. So would I love to set up affiliates with them? Absolutely. And then get paid to talk about them? Heck yeah. Tell me how to do that, right? Tell me how to do that. Show me the love and show me the magic on how to do that. That's something I need to get better at. But it's one of those things where you support. I'm never going to push anything on you guys that I'm not 100% behind. If it's not something that we use, at least weekly, or something that we don't have in our arsenal that we use, or something that, geez, it's something we don't use. I'm not going to be like, oh, here, do this. Now I'm going to ask questions about stuff. Like, there's a ton of stuff for JP Plus that we've never used, and so I ask questions. Who's used this? What are your thoughts on it? How's it turned out for you? stuff that we're behind, we'll show you. Any of the design bundles, artwork, man, we're going to push those all the time because I love fonts. Like, I'm a font junkie. There's fonts there. I'm all about that. And if there's a place that offers supplies and offers things, and hey, we're able to help with it. I may have told somebody that in November or December. I think it was December, because I think I was Christmas shopping when we talked about a place to stay away from. But somebody did not do that, if I remember correctly. But that's the other thing, can't believe the hype. Like, it's easy to buy ads and it's easy to hype things up, but you can't always believe the hype. You can't always believe the ads. Actually get in there and do it. And you'll notice a lot of times, vendors will go in and they'll delete out comments, they'll delete out posts, they'll do things like that when there's bad publicity on it. They'll block people from groups. And why? Because it's just easier to always make everything look good, and that's not a good thing to have. So that's what we got. But what do we do with this, right? So, like I said, how do we overcome this? Like what do we do? Like, where are we at with things? Like, I don't know. How do we deal with this setback? Well, one of the ways that we're dealing with the setback is we've got a plan in place. We've had that since the beginning. Since day one, we had a plan in place. If our printer went down, what could we do, and how was it going to work? And that plan has worked. I was going to say pricelessly. That wasn't even a word. Perfectly. It is. Perfectly. Is there anything that could be changed with it? Well, sure. Nothing's ever perfect. But as far as we're able to get them to place orders for us, we're able to get them, or not place orders, to print for us and take care of that printing while we're down. Yeah. Are we making any money? No. But that's not their fault, right? Like, I should price, all my prices should go up. Everybody should take it up. But the problem is, especially on the DTF side, there was that race to the bottom. Everybody wanted everything the cheapest. And I vowed I was never going to go there. Why? Because I didn't want to have that issue if something came up that I would be losing money on it. And that's just not me. We're going to sell you on service. We're going to sell you on what we can do on it. And I'm going to sell you myself. I'm just like you. I'm a decorator. We've got a family. We do everything we can with our business to make the best of it. We show you our ups and downs. I feel we give out tons of free knowledge. We've got this. We've got our whole other training side. I haven't even talked about that in months on our success group and the mastermind groups that we have over there and the trainings that we have over there. And have fallen off that wagon of pushing all the things that we do. It was one of the things that somebody asked me about. I think it was after the last Tuesday with Todd. I got some nice emails from people about their experiences and stuff and how it helped them. And somebody said, what about a mastermind group? Is there anything that you would do with that? And I said, yeah, it's something we could do, but it's not going to be free. It's one of those where it costs to facilitate it. It costs to put it on there. I got to pay for the hosting. I got to do all that. And there's a cost that comes with that. To have somebody take care of it. And so we're going to work out the details and put that in there. So that is going to be here in the thing. Yeah. Public Enemy. Don't believe the hype. 1,000% do not believe the hype. Look at that. I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah, you're still trying to figure out. You do good for yourself, Rob. You do good. Yep. Yeah, I did. I mean, I tried to. And it was just because prior OmniPrint is a good one. The marketing machine behind OmniPrint is huge. But I knew so many people that had so many issues with their DTG printers that it scared the hell out of me. And especially when I sat in on some of they do a marketing call, training call every Wednesday. For those that don't know, you can get in there and you can get signed up for that. But they do offer a good amount of knowledge in there, and they do it. But sometimes the support is lacking. Sometimes the equipment is lacking. Sometimes it's just, hey, it's not the greatest. And I have seen people have mixed results on it. There's some people are, Team Omni through and through and have had amazing stuff with it. Other ones, it's been horrible experiences from the beginning. I personally haven't dealt with it, but I can tell you that, the people that I've dealt with on it and things that I've helped them work through. And, it wouldn't be my first choice. It probably wouldn't be my second, third, fourth, or fifth choice. If somebody said, hey, I'm looking at buying this, I'd say, hey, why? What is your reasoning behind getting it before getting there? That's just the way it is. There's another company that sells DTF printers that's down in Florida. They might start with a cold and end with an SE. I wouldn't recommend either, just because the support that we've seen after the fact. Support, support, support. That is such key when it comes to your business and buying equipment. And Chuck said, don't always believe salespeople talk. The other people, their job is to sell equipment. 100%. Their job is to sell you equipment. And he said, looking at things on how to do it is, they need to sell equipment, and more than the equipment, they need to sell you supplies. So they need to get you in the door and buy supplies, buy supplies, buy supplies. Who would be a good option for artwork logo design? Well, Facebook user, since I don't know who you are, really depends on the type of logo, type of artwork. We have a few different people that we work with on it. If we're doing conversions, if we're doing standalone, a lot of it comes down to the design itself, because there's certain people that are better at certain types of designs than others. That's their specialty. So it really comes down to what you're looking for. Now, one of the things that I can say is with the advent of AI and how that is moving so rapidly, I'm seeing a lot of people use Midjourney to create logos. It's all about the prompts and putting things in there like that. So that's something that is actually it's been on our little thing. What is it? Been on our to-do list. Maybe during this downtime is to use it to create a coloring book and throw it on Amazon, and then it becomes an automated thing and seeing how it works. So that's something that I need to maybe Saturday or Sunday, but now it's getting nicer out, so it's time. It's hard to do that. It might be one of these these nights that I don't sleep. Like last night, I didn't sleep. I was so worried, and so in the gut feeling, I knew I was going to be taken care of, but just that what if, like, what if this doesn't work? What's going on here? How do we fix this? It's like there's so many issues with it that I just couldn't sleep. But that would have been a prime time to get up and come work on my coloring book, because that's what we do. A Wednesday call is kind of a waste of time. 95% of the time it is. I think if you're new to it though, or is like, right, you're experienced in it, right? You're experienced in this game, in the print side of things, and how things work and that. So yeah, there's some good ones, and it's been hit or miss. There, sometimes it's really on when they do this the marketing side of it. I find some good stuff with that, because I mean, hey, they've had Victor is a master marketer. I saw him on the 10x stage with Grant Cardone, and what they were doing. You couldn't turn on YouTube without getting a free jet ad. They knew what they were doing. They knew how many machines they had to sell. They knew how much they had to spend on ads to make those machines, and they knew where they made the money is on supplies. That's where it's at. The supplies, the supplies, the supplies. I already get that one. Don't believe the hype. That is so true. Don't believe the hype. All right. What else do we got going on? So tomorrow, yes, there will be a morning mindset. Thursday bundle drop. We will do a Thursday bundle drop, but I will tell you this. There will not be any live pictures, live prints. Why? Because we're ordering prints in, and unless we're up and running, if we're up and running on Thursday, great. We'll just run through the website, put it on there. There will be Juneteenth. There'll be 2 or 3 bundles that'll be coming out for that. So you can look forward to that on this Thursday morning mindset, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next Tuesday with Todd, what do you guys want to talk about? We're getting things built around. We're not. I'm lying to you. We're not getting things built around for the studio yet. There is plans in place, but we've just had other things come up, and that's got pushed. Between the different orders that have come in, the rush orders, the bulk orders, it's been busy, and it's a good busy, because, like I said, to know that it was a 10K loss last month, and by the time we buy new boards and heads this time, I mean, unless we can work something out, hey, it's probably going to be another 10K month. Losing $20,000 in revenue in 2 months. She made a butthole pucker. That is for sure. The tech support is the biggest thing now I've learned. I flew to Reno for their weekend on-site training. Just like a trade show, everything runs perfectly there. In hindsight, I wish I wouldn't have bought, or I would have bought a UV. Well, and here's the thing: is so we've been looking at the UV printers, flatbeds, for a while, and then because they were always tough to see at the trade shows we went to. You didn't see a whole lot of them, so you're watching everything and doing everything. And it wasn't until Vegas APA I actually got to see some in action. And actually, talk to them and talk to people and other people that had them and took some classes on it where I was like, man, this is a super profitable machine if done correctly and you have the business for it. Which we thought for us, the business for it is we can do a lot of printing. We already do printing for other people, right? We already print transfers, we already put signs, we already put banners, we already do all that. So if we can add this to it where we can do, the Chotsky stuff, the golf balls, the tumblers, the things like that, and offer them at a good price, then hey, it makes sense to go ahead and get. Our accountant felt otherwise and said, hey, you should hold off on this. And thank God we listened to that, because I couldn't imagine having that payment here and everything that's transpired in the last 3 or 4 months. But it's still a gold machine to have. I would still love to have one, just to be able to, one, make content with it, two, offer other things for it. And that's what a lot of us comes down to. The white toner, totally need to make more content with that. That needs to be a video. We should have did Mother's Day balloons and shown that. So that's something that it's not a whole lot to show you print, right? Because it just prints out. The application part to it, I can definitely show that. So yeah, maybe we'll get on that. Every machine will go down. Absolutely 1000% correct. All right, Darren, I'd much rather drop a shirt on my toe than a sheet of steel. Yes. One, I almost dropped a counterbalance to a washing machine on my toe on Saturday. That was almost going to lead to a fun time there, but I don't want to drop anything on my toe. So yeah, that's what we got on. Like I said, we've got morning mindset tomorrow morning, and we'll have our meeting with American Print Supply and have some things worked out there, which I'm super excited about. I think there's a good amount of knowledge that can be had on the DTF side of things that people aren't getting out there. And I think we can help with that. And I'm looking forward to things we can do. And they say when it comes to supplies, hey, there's where I buy my supplies from. So if you're in the market for DTF supplies, film, powder, and they're not going crazy with all this other weird stuff that people are just getting in, the glow in the dark and the holographic and things like that, because it's untested at this point. If Jay's still here, Jay, I need to get with you on foil. So if you're still here, Jay, foil, we need to talk foil and how we can do that, because you've been doing it for years now. So that's something that somebody asked me about. I said, yep, I know the guy. But get your supplies from them. Go check it out. We got it. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, let's work on that. So next Tuesday, white toner demo. Yeah, we can do white toner. I can totally do white toner. We can move some stuff around. I can make it. I got to get the other camera to work. That's the big thing. Because I'd rather have the other camera live than make a video and just have you guys watch a video for it. But yeah, instead of just watching a video together, to do it that way. And so yeah, white toner. Like I said, the balloons, you're going to look at a transfer cost is going to be $5 to $7 for a transfer cost. Then you're going to have your shipping of $7. So you're at $14 in it, and that's just for one. So when we're doing things like this is where buy in bulk. Get 10 of them, and your price comes down. Get that, so your things come down. Go smaller, so you can gang things up. That's where on the temporary tattoos, that's what a lot of people do. Will order 25, 50, 100 sheets at a time, because it brings that cost down for them there. Speaking of balloons, I saw a video. They weren't putting the opening on the heat press. Absolutely. So in those Mylar balloons, there's the opening on it. You need to make sure that is nowhere near the heat press, because it will seal. Ask me how I found that out. I thought I needed to wear it, and yeah, it didn't work. And so that's the thing is, I did a couple of them. I only got one to work, but I need to do a few more, and we can walk through that and show you the process. It's the same way with white toner and doing foil, which I think is a huge thing that you guys can do. If anybody is doing foil, let's talk white toner and foil. Now, for us, it is kind of an issue because we only have the smaller ones, so we're not able to do the large sheets, so you can't do like a big full shirt design. Technically, you can if you split the design and print it on 2 sheets, but then it's going to cost you twice as much. But seeing toner and transfer on foil, man, I love doing that. It is such a cool process, and it's so much easier than doing the adhesive and printing it out that way. And it allows you to customize it really well, do the one-offs for it. So there's white toner will always have its place. Like I love it on the hard substrates, which UV DTF, once that takes off, that's gonna take a big chunk out of that white toner for that. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because right now white toner for us is water slides, temporary tattoos, that's the part that we really dig it at. But all right, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, we'll be back here in just about 14 and a half hours. Morning Mindset tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be up before then, some artwork and getting that shipped out. And then hopefully we might have an update for you before then. But I think we're wrapping it up. You guys, as always, thank you so much for coming in and joining us. Yes, in fact, because that's what I have one. I have to send you the video because you know how they work. Put one on, tried scratching it off. Of course, it doesn't come off when you scratch with your hand. I said, well, I'm going to see what it takes to do it. So then I grabbed out a scraper and was able to pop it off there, but it took some damage. I've got some stuff going through the dishwasher now to see how that. Please, my personal opinion is when I sell these, I'm not going to sell it as dishwasher safe. Why? I don't know what your dishwasher does. I say, it's hand wash only, but if you put it on your dishwasher and it works, then it works. I think it's just easier to say that with it. But we did get those. That's something we need to figure out is pricing on it. So I don't know where you guys are on pricing on stuff, so we can get that dialed in and figured out. And I think I'm talking with Rob tomorrow morning about that as well, because it's going to be pretty cool. And it's something that I think we can offer and knock it out of the park too. And so I think as a team, we got this. Best of luck to you guys with the printer. We'll find out tomorrow. Like, here's the thing: is Rachel says best of luck. I'm not worried about the printer because I know it's going to get fixed. I know I have an amazing sales team behind me, and not even that, I have an amazing company behind me. Amazing. I would put service techs up against any of them in the country, and they will win hands down. Hands down. Why? Because they're service techs. They're not salespeople. They're not trying to get you to get other stuff. They're there to fix stuff and to help you keep that machine running. Why? Because if a machine isn't running, it's not making money. Machine isn't running, it's not purchasing supplies. So keeping that machine running is their primary focus. And that is why I said 100%, that part of the business, making sure you know what you're dealing with tech-wise is where it's at. And here's the great thing. Like Jay's still here. Even if you didn't purchase from American Print and Supply and you bought from somewhere else, Jay works on them all. He can take care of that. You call him up, you schedule a call, you get an appointment, get on his books, pay the fee, you get taken care of. Now that's the fee. I don't know because I bought. So there's that is. But they can help you install. You bought something from China, you bought something from another company, and there's garbage support. They can help you out with it. It's going to cost you, but hey, it's definitely worth it to do that. They know what the hell they're talking about. They can walk you through stuff. There's so many different areas that they're able to help with that. If you are even considering getting into the DTF side of things, talk with them first. Talk with Jay. Set something up. The price you pay is going to be the amount of knowledge you're going to get is more than worth it. So I'm telling you, do that there. All right. We got to get out of here. I think we're going to go, I don't know. It's Tuesday. It's tacos. Birria tacos sound good. But as like Rachel said, best of luck with you guys. The printer, yeah, I know it's all going to work out. I know everything's fine. It's just on how long we're going to be down for. If there's boards in stock and there's heads in stock and there's ribbon cable and everything is in stock, then we're going to be up and running in just a matter of days. We'll ship it out. We'll be good to go. So that's my feeling on it. I was down in the dumps thinking a board, and when I talked to Rob yesterday, there's no boards, and they were ordering from China, and it wasn't going to be here. It'd be another, probably 10 days, I think, 14 days before we'd get it. So I was going to be down 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's what I was kind of bummed out about. But now, if there's boards here, and I'm like 25% happier than what I was before, because I still think until somebody has a board in their hand that's the right board, that we won't have a board. So, but it did make me feel a lot better when they said there's boards in stock. That made me think, because they said they just got rid of the last one. But all right, you guys have an amazing night. Like I said, we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Morning Mindset. We'll get our stuff. 99% sure they're there. Guess what? I'm the 1%er. It's the 1%er, and we'll see. Because I think that crate is that whatever that thing. What is the container? I saw all the equipment there. I saw everything there. So I am pretty sure Rob didn't think there was any boards when I talked to him last night. So maybe he found some. We'll cross our fingers. If not, we'll get it worked out. He has always take care of me. So that's what I love. All right. You guys have an amazing night. Remember, like, subscribe, share, do all that. We'll do our best to always provide you with up-to-date information across the board on everything that we do and all the things that we offer and our ins and outs and all of that stuff. So peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time.